Alrighty. Hello, beautiful person. I am so happy to be with you again. It's Sunday evening, Sunday Silver with Hadass, and I am live on Instagram and on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, some of my favorite places. Hey, Alana, nice to see you. So, I want to talk about sleep tonight, and it's apropos. I'm quite tired, so not going to be super long, but that's okay. So, I'm going to talk about sleep and various ways in which we can improve the quality of our sleep. But before I do that, just say hello. Tell me where you're coming in from. How are things in Gimli, Alana? Other people can tell me where you're from, what you're doing, what it's like where you are, what's the weather like. And yeah, we can get going and talk about sleep. So, I have done broadcasts about sleep before. Um, it's a never ending, fascinating topic because if you think about it, sleep is really weird. We spend, a good third of our lives all being well in a state of unconsciousness, and other animals do it too. So, it's not just us. And it's really, really important. And as modern humans, we have this habit of oh, thank you for the hearts. We have this habit of treating sleep as something dispensable, if you will, and Lord knows it's not. And when you get older, you realize that more than ever because things you could get away with when you were young, it's harder to do as you get older. And when you're a student and you pull all nighters, then takes you a couple of days and then you're fine. But when you're 60, like me, if you don't get enough sleep, you're going to notice it, and it's subtle, or it can be subtle, or it can hit you with a sledgehammer, because it's going to affect your health, and it's really, really annoying that we get rebellious. We have other things to do, especially in these days, when we have artificial light. And once upon a time, once it got dark, that was it. Everybody went to sleep because you couldn't see. But now with the artificial lights, we stay up late. We look at things with blue light, like all these screens I have in front of me. And when you have that happening, then your body might be confused. Blue light tells our body that it's daytime, and if we do this late in the night, then it's confused, and we might not get enough sleep. So I'm going to talk about a few ways we can help and ensure that we have um, a better quality of sleep. Because one of the things I've been doing, if you follow me on social media, you may have seen this. Not all of my social media have stories. LinkedIn and Twitter both used to have stories, and they axed them. They were kind of fun. But on my social media that do have stories, I've been putting up little images of my from my Fitbit. It shows, measures my sleep, and it tells me how often I woke up and so on. And what I'm finding is that sometimes I do go to bed too late. Mea culpa, I do admit it. Sometimes I just stay up too late. And then my sleep is too short because I just went to bed too late. And then I do want to get up at a certain time in the morning. So, math is math. If you shorten it on one end, it's not going to be long enough on the other. So, sorry, my phone just got me not in the middle. It's making me a little crazy. Sorry about that. Oh, so I made it worse. Yay. Oh, well, it's just going to have to do. So, sorry, that was my little craziness going on there. So, sleep. So, sometimes we just go to bed too late and that just happens. But what I've also found is that sometimes there will be some nights, it's really interesting because I've been keeping this record. There will be some nights that I go to bed at roughly the same time and I get up at the same time. And some nights I might have as much as an hour more sleep than the other night. And yet I maybe went to bed 20 minutes later. So why is there such a big difference? And then a nice thing about the Fitbit is that it measures how often you woke up in the night. And then I see that my sleep might have been really disturbed. Now, I don't remember any of this. Clearly, I'm not really conscious of what's happening. It's, if you're waking up in the night enough to actually remember it, then you're really awake. But, we just wake up, go back to sleep, wake up, back to sleep, and disturbed sleep. And that happens especially as we get older. It's more and more common. And the thing is that if you're waking up and you're not feeling refreshed, that might have something to do with that, with the fact that you just didn't get enough sleep. Now, I should pause here and give a caveat. I am not a medical professional. I don't play one on the internet, but I am someone who has been in the world for 60 years, has learned a few things, had some education. Like I said, I am not a medical professional. I am not licensed in any way to give any medical advice, especially if you're watching me from the litigious country south of our border. I am not giving medical advice here. What I am doing is talking about my own experience with sleep and some things that I have found that might be helpful. They're helpful to me and they might be helpful to you. So, having said that, let me just take a look at my notes. Notes are a good thing, especially as you get older and more forgetful. So I wrote down some ways to improve sleep. And some of them might be pretty obvious, but the fact remains is that we can go to bed at the same time and have completely different experiences of sleep. Some nights we sleep well and we wake up refreshed, and other nights we wake up feeling not so great. And so what are some things we can do to try and improve that? There are some things that are out of our control. Obviously, there's always possibility of things that are out of our control, but there are lots of things that we can control. And so if we give it a try, if we try to improve our sleep, we are generally likely to feel better. So just looking at my list here of things that can be helpful for improving sleep. So one of them is to get more light during the day. The last couple of years, it might have been a little harder, but nowadays, I think people can get out and get some sunlight. I mean, sunlight is ideal for setting your body and telling it when it's daytime and when it's sleep time. But it says a bright artificial light will do, especially if you live somewhere where it gets really dark in the winter, like here. In the winter, we have maybe 6 hours of daylight. So sometimes you need a bright artificial light, but sunlight is best. Second thing is to exercise regularly, even if you just go for a walk around the block, but not right before bed. Because if you get really stimulated from exercise, then it could be hard to get yourself settled down again. The next one is really important. I want to show you. Where did I put it? Come on. So you should always get your props ready beforehand. Here we go. Blue blockers. Okay, you can set. It's important to block blue light in the evening, and usually I do it after 8 o'clock, so I don't need them right now. But you can set your screens to turn themselves into more of a yellow hue at night. That's called night shift, I think, on the iPhone, and it's called other things on other devices. But the point is that you can set your device so that the screen is not as blue in the evening. That's helpful because, as I mentioned before, blue light makes your body think that it's daytime. And if you have devices in your bedroom, for example, that have blue buttons or whatever, you might want to consider covering them up. That's a whole different thing. So let me see, what else have I got? I'm not going to go through all of my points. Avoid caffeine after 3 p.m. Some people are more sensitive to caffeine than others, but if you find that you're really having trouble sleeping, you might want to cut back on caffeine in the afternoon and evening. Try to establish a consistent sleep-wake time, even on weekends. It's really weird. I find that I'm going to wake up pretty much the same time, regardless of when I went to bed, which can be really annoying if I don't need to get up at that time. But it's really important, if you don't have that you try and establish some sort of routine, because your body is going to feel more comfortable with a routine. Take a melatonin supplement. My kids use gummies. Personally, I prefer a sleep spray that I have. Go easy with it. It's not addictive in any way. It's really a hormone, actually. So be careful with it. A lot of people overdo it, but it can be really helpful. My note says start cautiously. See, avoid alcohol before bed. That's really important. People think that alcohol can help them sleep, but it's kind of like, like in Macbeth, the porter says, well, he's not talking about sleep, he's talking about lechery, but he says that drink, uh, and we're talking about lechery, what is it that it giveth desire and taketh away performance. So it's the same with sleep, really. It might make you sleepy, but you're not going to have very good sleep if you've had too much to drink. So try not to drink a lot before bed. It says relax before bed without screens, hot baths, reading, breathing exercises, meditation, sex, things that'll make you relaxed. Um, and it says optimize your bedroom, keep it quiet, dark, and cool, and avoid screens in there. You really don't need to have a TV in your bedroom. I'm sorry. Um, Fight me. No, but seriously, screens in your bedroom are bad for your sleep. And like I said, cover up blue light. Uh, it's all sorts of things that have like buttons and things. You can actually buy these special dots that are supposed to cover it up. But I mean, I think just black tape will do it just as well. And it says reduce liquids before bed. That's the other thing. Drinking water is really important. Hydration is super important, especially as you get older. But the fact remains that if you drink too much just before bed, and sometimes I will admit I look in my cup and I go like, "Ooh, I still have half a cup of water, glug glug," and then 4 a.m. Hello. So as we get older, we're more likely to need to get up to pee more often, which is again, it's really annoying, and I really don't understand it because our bladders don't get any smaller as we get older. I think they just get more sensitive, or maybe it has to do with our adrenals. Who knows? Like I said, not a medical professional. But the fact remains that if we drink too much water before bed, we may have trouble sleeping. And my apology, standing up to bullies. I did not see your comments before. I was looking at my notes, but now I see. Oh, thank you. Well, I don't know if I'm getting enough sleep. I'm working on getting more. And you ask, what is blue light? Blue light is just that. It's light that's blue, and you don't really realize it when you're just looking, say, at the screen of your TV or your computer or your phone. It just has a lot of light in the blue part of the spectrum, and same as sunlight. I mean, our eyes are developed to be able to see specifically in the area where we have sunlight. And so when if our eyes see a light that looks like sunlight, then they think it's daytime. That's what the blue light is about. So my apologies for missing your comments earlier. And other people, I am now looking at comments. So if you have any, I would love to see them. And thank you for the kind words about my appearance. We do the best we can trying to be healthy around here. And so I just wanted to tell you before I close this down, because I've been talking for a while here, is that I've had family, kids visiting, and so on. It's been a little crazy, but what I'm going to start doing tomorrow is I'm going to start doing a 7-day reset using supplements that really work with it. I have a nightlight that's blue. So yeah, you know what? You can try taking it off and see if it improves your sleep. I don't know what your sleep is like. So you can send me a message standing up to bullies. I don't know what your name is, but maybe you can send me a message and we can talk later. So where was I? Going to be doing a 7-day reset because between the holidays and having had COVID a month ago, 6 weeks ago now, I guess, I'm a little bit more of a good thing than I wanted to be. So I've had a box sitting in my kitchen for a while, and I want to give it a try. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just be sharing that in my stories. And LinkedIn doesn't have stories, but Facebook and Instagram do. I believe TikTok does as well, but I don't use that very much. Certainly not the stories. So if you want to follow me on Facebook and or Instagram, my name is the same everywhere. I know I've been using Silver Sparks on Instagram, but you can see my username, Hadass. That's also my name on LinkedIn and on Twitter. So and on Facebook. So you can find me there. Feel free to send me a friend request. I will be happy to receive it, especially if you maybe send me a message and say that you were on my live, then for sure I'll be happy to accept any friend requests on Facebook or Instagram, and then we can continue the conversation. And I will be sharing pictures on my stories of my journey with this little system that I'm using. I don't know if you need to change your name. You could just tell people what your name is. I mean, standing up to bullies is an awesome thing, but it doesn't tell people too much about who you are. So anyway, thank you so much for chatting with me. And if you are here live, thank you so much. If you're watching this on the replay, I'm also going to be putting this on YouTube. I'm happy to talk with you. Drop me a message. Say hello. Tell me what you think about the tips that I shared with you. And I'll be coming on live again next Sunday. But like I do little videos and stories and posts and so on. And I'm always happy for conversation. So have a great evening. Remember, I love you. And I'll talk to you again next week.